Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name's Will, and today I want to talk to you guys about my first thoughts on the Cloud Defensive Rein. If you haven't heard of the Rein, it's a really new offering from Cloud Defensive, which is a really new company in the game. But it seemed like a really cool light from what I could tell and research in other people's videos, and I wanted to get one to test out and play around with myself. And I went ahead and mounted it up on my defensive AR. Because this thing is bright. It's 1400 lumens. This is the full-size version with the complete kit with the tape switch. 1400 lumens and 60,000 candela. Now, a lot of people talk about lumens, but until recently, almost nobody talked about candela when it came to weapon lights and handheld lights, for that matter. There is a difference, and they both matter. Lumens is how much light is coming out of the front of the head, period. Just a measurement of all the light. The candela, I'm not any technical expert by any means, but essentially the candela is what allows you to push the light further. So if you have a more focused light, you have a higher candela, which means the light is going to go further away from you versus a lens that's less focused. And reflector too, obviously. Again, not a technical expert, but the high candela on this is what allows it to push out as far and be usable as far as it is. I haven't gotten to take this to any like 100 or 200 yard ranges at night. I don't know that I'll get a chance to do that anytime soon, but as soon as I can, I'm going to be testing this thing out, playing around with it, because I'm really excited about it. I may have already said it, but I got the complete kit, which also comes with this tape switch on the top, and that right there is the only con, well, one of the only cons that I have so far for this light. I'll roll in a picture here, but on installing it, I actually cracked one of the brackets that holds the pressure switch on top of the rail. And that's because it's made of plastic. Now, I reached out to Cloud, talked to them. They said, hey, that's not typically covered under our warranty, but we'll send you one out. Just don't over torque it. They told me 6 inch-pounds was how tight these screws need to be. Me personally, I like to tighten stuff down on my rifles because I don't want it coming loose on me. So I really wish that they had made these out of metal like they do their LCSs for the Streamlight and Surefire lights for their pressure switches. The plastic is just, it's not super durable in my opinion. But the switch itself is really awesome. You've got 2 buttons on here. One has their logo and one doesn't. The one that has the logo is for your constant on, constant off applications, and the one without the logo that's smooth is just momentary. You cannot make that one go constant on. So you get options, which is great. I like options. There's also a button on the back of the Rein that is like most of your handheld like Surefires and stuff. You can push it in for momentary, and if you push it all the way till it clicks, it goes to constant, and you can obviously turn it back off the same way. Fairly simple in terms of the feature set, but they laid it out, I think, in a very good way and gave you a lot of options. If you break the cable, for example, you're not out the entire light. You can still use the button on the back of the light. If the switch on the back of the light goes out, but you still have your cable, you can still use the light. They're independent of each other, so as long as one is connected, you're good to go. The thing does run off of a 18650 battery. I got 3, so I got 2 extras from them. They're Samsung 30Qs. Don't know all the technical specs about those batteries, but Cloud specifically says they chose those to work and be optimized with this light. Changing it out and change out the battery is very simple, very easy to do. Just take the head off, take it out. There is a battery jack feature in the back. That's what they call it, a battery jack, that you can adjust the tension of your battery so you don't have any issues with battery bounce or flickering light under recoil or anything like that. Haven't tested that out, but seems logical that it would help, and it's a cool feature. It's just a nice little touch that they added that they didn't have to add, obviously, but I'm glad they did. And yeah, now let's get to the second con for the light, or at least what most people are going to think is a con. The light costs, depending on which version you get, around $300. They do have a smaller version of this called the Rein Micro. It takes 18350 batteries instead of 18650s, and you lose, I think, about 100 lumens and a little bit of candela as well with that light. and you can get either one of them as the standard or the complete kit. The difference is the standard doesn't come with the tail switch, but you can buy those separately if you want. Now, all the Rein lights also come with a Picatinny rail mount in the box, so you're ready to plug and play as soon as you get it. But I went ahead, because it's compatible with all the Surefire Scout light mounts, and mounted it up to this Magpul angled light mount for now. I'm probably going to be doing something different with it down the road, but I already had this piece laying around, so I figured I'd just mount it to that. Gets it a little closer to the rifle than the pick rail version does. The lens on this thing is really thick too. It's a 3mm thick lens, and they actually have video of them firing a simunition round, which is basically a Play-Doh paint type filled piece of plastic coming out of a gun set up for force-on-force training. Those things hurt. I've been shot with them many times. They hurt. They don't feel good. They hit hard. And this thing stood up to the impact of that, whereas a lot of other weapon lights and optics and things have been broken in force-on-force training by simunition rounds impacting them. The other thing about this light is it's kind of big. I haven't really noticed it being super heavy on the gun, but this isn't a lightweight gun to begin with. I didn't notice it really changing the balance of my gun. But just to give you guys a comparison here, move that kind of close so you can see that. I've got a stream light here. This is the ProTac Rail Mount 2. So this is not the HLX or anything. It's a little smaller than that. But you guys can see a size difference there. It's definitely bigger, especially the front of it. Angle this so you guys can see how big that is versus this. Trying to hold all this on camera is not easy, but you get the idea. It's a bigger light. It weighs a little bit, but it also gives you a lot of light capability. I mean, this thing is ridiculous. So haven't done a ton of testing with it. This is not a full review, but I wanted to go ahead and at least talk about it, give you guys my initial thoughts, and let you know about the experience I've had with it so far. Cloud's customer service has been great. They've really been helpful to me, but just know that if you do break this bracket when you're installing your pressure switch on your rail, that it's not covered under their warranty, and they may make you buy a replacement if you break it like I did. So that being said, my biggest recommendation right now to Cloud is to start making those out of metal like you do with your other LCSs. I don't know why this was made out of plastic, but me personally, I'm not a fan of that. I would rather see it made out of aluminum or something. That's all I've got for you guys today. I will be testing this thing out further going forward. I just haven't been able to yet. Obviously, I've only had it for a couple of days. And I'll be posting a full review on it at some point in the future. But if you guys have any questions in the meantime, please feel free to leave them in a comment down below, or you can shoot me an email or a DM on Instagram. I'll have that linked in the description of the video. And yeah, that's it. I really appreciate you guys taking the time to watch. Y'all take it easy, roll tide, and I'll see you later.